Dealing with their child's tantrum led to an unexpected breakthrough in their relationship. Before we dive into tonight's story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button like you're ringing for room service at a 5-star hotel. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we've got cooking. Emily and Jake had always envisioned themselves as the perfect team when it came to raising their child. They had spent countless hours discussing parenting strategies, reading books, and attending workshops. But nothing could have prepared them for the reality of dealing with their 3-year-old daughter, Lily, whose tantrums had become a frequent and exhausting part of their lives. It was a crisp autumn afternoon when one of Lily's most epic meltdowns occurred. They were at the local park, a favorite spot for family outings. The park was bustling with children playing and parents chatting. The air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves and the distant sound of laughter. Lily had been happily playing on the swings when, without warning, she decided she wanted to leave. Emily and Jake, knowing how much she loved the park, were taken aback by her sudden change in mood. "No, I want to go home!" Lily screamed, her face red and contorted with anger. Emily crouched down to Lily's level, trying to remain calm. "Sweetie, we just got here. Why don't you play a little longer?" But Lily was having none of it. She threw herself onto the ground, kicking and screaming. Parents and children around them started to look over, some with sympathy, others with judgment. Jake felt his frustration rising. "Emily, just pick her up. We can't let her make a scene like this." Emily shot him a look, her patience wearing thin. "I'm trying to calm her down, Jake. Yelling at me isn't helping." They had always prided themselves on being a united front. But in moments like these, their different parenting styles often clashed. Jake was more inclined to take a firm stance, while Emily believed in a gentler approach. Their disagreements on handling Lily's tantrums had become a source of tension between them. As Lily's cries grew louder, Emily's attempts to soothe her seemed futile. Jake, feeling the weight of the stares from other parkgoers, finally bent down, scooped Lily up, and started walking towards the car. Emily followed, feeling a mix of relief and frustration. The drive home was silent except for Lily's sniffles in the back seat. Emily stared out the window, her mind racing. She knew they needed to address the growing tension between them, but she wasn't sure where to start. Once they were home, Jake put Lily in her room for a nap, hoping she would calm down after some rest. He then found Emily in the kitchen, brewing a pot of tea. The silence between them was heavy, filled with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. "Emily, we need to talk," Jake finally said, leaning against the counter. Emily sighed, pouring tea into 2 mugs. "I know, Jake, but every time we try to discuss this, we end up arguing." Jake took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "I feel like we're not on the same page when it comes to handling Lily. I don't want us to keep fighting about it." Emily handed him a mug and took a seat at the kitchen table. "I don't either, Jake, but we both have different ideas about what's best for her. I don't want to undermine you, but I also don't want to feel like my approach is wrong." They sat in silence for a moment, sipping their tea. The tension between them was palpable, but so was the love. They both wanted what was best for Lily and for their marriage. "Maybe we need to find a middle ground," Emily suggested, her voice softer. "A way to combine our approaches so that we're consistent and supportive of each other." Jake nodded, appreciating her willingness to find a solution. "I agree. We need to be a team, especially for Lily's sake." Over the next few weeks, Emily and Jake made a concerted effort to improve their communication and work together more effectively. They attended a parenting workshop that focused on handling tantrums and managing stress. The workshop provided them with valuable tools and techniques, but it also highlighted the importance of being on the same page. One evening, after Lily had gone to bed, Emily and Jake sat down to discuss what they had learned. They spread out the workshop materials on the living room floor and started going through them together. One of the key points they mentioned was the importance of staying calm, Emily said, pointing to a section in the handout. When we get frustrated, it only escalates the situation. Jake nodded. I know I can be too harsh sometimes. I'm going to work on that. Emily reached for his hand, squeezing it gently. And I'll try to be more understanding of your perspective. We both want the same thing, a happy, healthy child. They continued to talk late into the night, sharing their thoughts and feelings openly. It was the first time in a long while that they felt truly connected, like they were back on the same team. Their newfound unity was put to the test a few days later when Lily had another tantrum. This time, it happened at home, just before bedtime. Lily wanted to watch another episode of her favorite cartoon, but Emily and Jake had already told her it was time for bed. I want to watch it now, Lily screamed, throwing herself onto the floor. Emily and Jake exchanged a glance, silently agreeing to use the techniques they had learned. Jake crouched down next to Lily, his voice calm and steady. Lily, I know you're upset, but it's time for bed. We can watch more tomorrow. Emily joined them, offering Lily a comforting touch. How about we read your favorite bedtime story instead? At first, Lily resisted, but Emily and Jake remained patient and consistent. Slowly, Lily began to calm down. They read her favorite story together, and soon she was tucked into bed, her tantrum forgotten. As they closed Lily's bedroom door, Emily and Jake shared a smile. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. They had faced a challenging situation together and came out stronger. Over time, Emily and Jake continued to refine their parenting approach. They found that by supporting each other and staying calm, they were able to handle Lily's tantrums more effectively. Their relationship grew stronger as well, as they learned to communicate better and work as a team. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Emily turned to Jake, a thoughtful expression on her face. You know, dealing with Lily's tantrums has taught me a lot about us. Jake looked at her, curious. What do you mean? Emily smiled, her eyes reflecting the warm hues of the setting sun. It's shown me how important it is for us to stay connected and support each other. We've faced some tough moments, but we've come out stronger because we did it together. Jake took her hand, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. I feel the same way. It's been challenging, but it's also brought us closer. I wouldn't want to go through this with anyone else. As they sat together, enjoying the peaceful evening, they reflected on their journey. They had faced numerous challenges, but each one had taught them valuable lessons about patience, communication, and the strength of their bond. Their parenting journey was far from over, but Emily and Jake felt more confident and united than ever. They knew that there would be more tantrums and tough moments, but they were ready to face them together, as a team. One night, after a particularly trying day, Emily and Jake found themselves sitting in the living room, exhausted but content. Lily had finally fallen asleep after a lengthy bedtime routine, and they were both feeling the weight of the day. Emily leaned against Jake, her head resting on his shoulder. I'm so glad we figured this out, Jake. I don't know how we would have managed without working together. Jake wrapped his arm around her, pulling her close. Me too, Emily. It's been tough, but we've learned so much about ourselves and each other. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, the only sound the gentle hum of the refrigerator and the occasional creak of the house settling. It was in these quiet moments that they truly appreciated the strength of their relationship. As they prepared for bed, Emily paused in the hallway, looking at a family photo hanging on the wall. It was from a happier time, before the tantrums and the stress, when everything seemed simpler. But now, looking at the photo, she realized how far they had come. Jake joined her, following her gaze. We make a pretty good team, don't we? Emily smiled, turning to him. The best. They went to bed that night feeling a renewed sense of connection and commitment. Their journey as parents was filled with challenges, but it was also rich with moments of growth and love. They knew that as long as they faced it together, they could handle anything. Over the next few months, Emily and Jake continued to navigate the ups and downs of parenting. There were good days and bad days, but through it all, they remained united. They celebrated their successes and learned from their mistakes, always striving to be the best parents they could be. One day, as they were playing with Lily in the park, Emily looked at Jake and felt a surge of love and pride. They had come so far, not just as parents, but as partners. They faced their challenges head-on and came out stronger. Jake caught her gaze and smiled. "What are you thinking about?" Emily shrugged, a playful grin on her face. "Just how lucky I am to have you." Jake pulled her into a hug, lifting her off the ground. "I'm the lucky one, Emily." They laughed, their joy infectious, as Lily ran around them, giggling. At that moment, surrounded by the beauty of the park and the love of their family, Emily and Jake knew that they had found their way. They were a team, stronger and more united than ever, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their parenting journey was far from perfect, but it was theirs, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Together, they discovered the true meaning of love, partnership, and resilience. And as they walked hand in hand, watching Lily chase after butterflies, they knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together, as a family.